Hey everyone, in this video, let's find out how you can change a word in Suno. In order to do so, here we are at suno.com and we're in our create mode. Here on the left-hand side, we're in create and we want to fix a word in one of our songs. So I've got this song here, and what is going on with this song is that the last word here, life, sounds strange. Now, what I'm going to show you here can apply to like basically any word in an entire song. But this one specifically, let's go ahead and give it a listen so that way you know what I'm talking about.
Your session, your Maggie, your seven-pointed wife, always riding you back to lay.
So you can hear there at the end, it doesn't quite say life. It almost sounds like it's saying life or something like that, which does happen with AI generated music sometimes. You get some weirdness like that. So what we want to do is we want to do a replacement. So in order to do that, first off, we want to find our song, hover over it. You're going to see this option that says remix edit. We're going to click on that. Then we're going to go here to where it says replace section. So clicking that, that's going to open up our edit session. And this might take a moment here. So let's just go ahead and let this open up. Okay. So here we are in edit mode, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here. We've got our zoom options here. And what we want to do is here we want to highlight where it says life, and then you're going to see here that it's focusing on that section. Let's go ahead and zoom in so that we know exactly what we're doing. And one thing also that you're going to find is that Suno doesn't like it when you do just like a specific word. It has a minimum of like 3 seconds. 3 to 6 seconds is kind of the sweet spot there. And the reality is sometimes you have to do a couple of generations before it really does what you want it to do. So what we're going to do here is I am going to highlight life, and I am just going to re-enter life again. And what I have found in the past is that if you just try to replace the section, then a lot of times it just does the same issue over again. But if you specify which word you want to change, even if you're changing it to the same word, then that kind of tells Suno, I want you to fix this. So the next thing we want to do is we want to, let's see here. Okay, if you highlight the specific words that you want to fix, then you're going to find it's going to automatically highlight the section that we want to fix. And then here we're specifying that we want to fix the word life where it says new lyrics. If you don't see, you'll see here the replace. It says here selection must be at least 2 seconds long in classic replace mode. And so we don't quite have enough time for that. So we can try to just do back to life. Nope, that's not going to work. I think the best thing to do is just to highlight the entire line, always writing you back to life. And that gives us enough leeway so that this opens up, this lights up so we can click it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and click this now. And let Suno think. And once it's done, what we're going to see is we're going to get a couple of options. We're going to get a couple of alternates, and we want to select whichever one we like the best. Sometimes it does, like I said, it might take a couple of replacements. The nice thing about the replacement is that it's only 4 credits, so that's not too bad. But this will take just a moment. Usually I find that the replacement There we go. Okay. So there you kind of heard for yourself that it didn't quite do what we wanted it to do. It's got this weird kind of like, you know, it jumps from one thing to the next. And this is a perfect example of something that you're going to run into, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to try the other alternate. Okay, so now what we can see is that we're probably going to want to do a replacement for, okay, so it doesn't want to do that. So I think, let's see, do it like that. Will that help us? No, it's still, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we want to get it all the way to the end. Nope, still doing it here. Okay, so I had to hit escape there to clear that out. What we want to do is we want to highlight the entire area that we want to update. So you can see there that the song ends here, and it's not going to work out the way that we want it to kind of just do that one line. It's going to push back on us. So what I tend to do is I tend to try to find a good spot in the timeline where we can redo it. And right now, to me, what's looking like our best bet is to try to bring it to like right around here. So let's go ahead and try doing that. And we've got our lyric here. No, I just messed it up. Let's try that again. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and hit replace again. So it looks like it's doing the entire thing, but it's highlighting this specific here. So I'm guessing that that's telling us that this is where the specific word is that we want to update, but it's going to give us a replacement for this entire section. That's what we are hoping for. Okay, so what happened here was we accidentally took out the lyrics that we wanted for this entire thing. So it's should say always bringing you back to life. And another thing is, I'm not sure that this is the right place for us to make our cut, but let's go ahead and try giving it a shot. So we're going to here. Okay, so I had to bring it back to its original state. That was the issue there. So we've got always writing you back to life. So we're putting that entire thing in there. And we're going to go ahead and do our replacement. The other thing we want to do as well, just because we figured this out last time, is we want to make sure that the replacement goes for the duration of the song, the whole song there, because otherwise it has a tendency to kind of not work out very well. So let's just bring it to that. Okay, yeah, so we can bring it right to the edge of this transition here. You can see the sound wave where it transitions that maintains our lyrics, so we're good there. So let's go ahead and hit replace and see how this works this time. It's good to show you this. It's good to show you some of the trials and tribulations of having to replace sections, because it's somewhat finicky. Sometimes it works out quite well and you don't have to play around with it too much. Other times you have to really kind of dial it in. And one thing I have found is that trying to isolate a specific word usually comes up with bad results. So you kind of have to try to isolate a specific section, so that way there's a fluidity that is maintained through the song. Okay, so this time I think we've got a much better result. So let's go ahead and hit play on this.
Always bringing you back to life.
So that's pretty good. I quite like that. Let's listen to the alternate.
Always bringing you back to life.
So that's pretty cool too. I'm not sure about kind of the rest of it, but it's actually kind of cool. Let's listen to that one more time.
Always bringing you back to
Okay, I think that's kind of cool, actually. I could sort of see using that at the end of the video. So we're going to go ahead and commit that. So you can see here this button that says commit. So we're going to commit that. And once it has committed, then we want to click here where it says save as new song. So that's going to, when we see this, we're going to go ahead and click on that, because it's going to take us straight to the song there. And now what we can do, well, this is not quite where I wanted to go with it. We're going to go back to the create here. I've got multiple workspaces. So this is something that kind of took me a little bit to figure out, is if you're editing something in one workspace and you save it as a new song, it's going to show up on your main workspace. So here we see our new edited version of our song. So that's how you can change a word in Suno. Not necessarily a straightforward process. Sometimes you get lucky the first time, but sometimes you got to play around with it. And what I was showing you there is that sometimes if you just try to isolate a very specific part of the song, it ends up just creating kind of a break in the song. Like it sort of switches and it's very obvious and noticeable and very undesirable. So that gives you some idea of how you can work around it and how you can change words in your songs in Suno. And that's all there is to it. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment and like and subscribe, and don't forget to set your notifications for more helpful tips. Also, if you take a look in the description, you'll find a link to our link tree. There you'll find our socials and our top AI recommendations, including Sintra. Sintra is a fantastic business strategy tool that gets to know you and your business, offering tailored insights to help you succeed. Finally, if you're looking for an online bank, check out Simply Financial. If you click on the link in the link tree, you can get $50 to open an account. And if you refer your friends and family, you can get $125 per referral. It's a great deal. It's a great bank. Check to see if it's available in your area.